Holistic being, it there's name. We like the individual, the person as an individual. When we see his or her surname given by abazali bakhe or the family. That's what we see, because there isn't I'm taking the identity from my family. So when we look at holistic, we look at the mind, both the spirit, the family including the living and our ancestors. Then we look at the community, and then we see samazulu. That's from there. This is country South Africa.
Fantastic.
So, even if when we do counseling, those elements, okay. Even generally, what was African indigenous knowledge system is coming up, but in the ways even though it's not belong to African indigenous way of viewing things, we want to see when you start the counseling, you start by asking that's almost the African indigenous way of seeing things. We are actually this is us. It's just that as Newanga level, this is
holistic.
This is holistic in that way. Fantastic, thank you. I think you basically covered it, but is there anyone else who feels like they want to perhaps add to what Sister Nokanya has said in regards to what holistic well-being is?
I would like to add just a little bit, to add in terms of also part of what we eat, what we ingest into our systems has ramifications for us on the spiritual level as well. So also a healthy diet is a part of a holistic spiritual understanding and a holistic spiritual liberty.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Ntokozo. All right. So we all understand what it means for us from an indigenous perspective to be holistically well. But now, as we all know, obviously, that a lot of us have challenges with actually reaching that state where before we are fully content and well in ourselves, in our beings. So some of these challenges that I noted coming up were challenges related to like colonialism, like the history of apartheid in South Africa, the fact that there's a lot of secrecy with regards to how people operate or how like the indigenous sector is currently operating, and there's and that leads to or that is a consequence of, say, racism, like the fact that a lot of us work in silos. And so we can just talk about some of the challenges that you've been experiencing with regards to your pursuits of holistic well-being, or the projects that you are doing that are pushing holistic well-being.
Yes. Can I come in?
Yes, Koko Ngobese.
Yeah. You know, when we are looking at South Africa as a whole, we find that the family institution, which is the fundamental institution to everyone living on earth, some norms and values have been challenged by the policies, by the human rights, and everything that has led indigenous people to the mess that we are in identity crisis. And I know that people must remember that when we talk about holistic approach, to me, we find ourselves people being confused because imindeni yethu ihlakazwe kakhulu because of capitalism. And because we are spiritual people, as I have said, sikhuleka ezintabeni, sikhuleka nasemakhaya njengabangoma abaphiwe izinto ezinkulu, kakhulukazi azibheka ngisho nombuso, imbuso yethu esikuyona iyatetema iyawa ngoba sichallengewe kakhulu. And I always question myself even about the indigenous knowledge system myself, because when I'm sitting down looking at the very concept, I find that when we talk about who we are, to me, the word or the name is irrelevant. We need more. We need us to look a better name that we can call indigenous knowledge system in our own perspective. Because you see, everything comes from academia, and people who are having all these rich languages and the healing powers, they can't understand. Because sometimes someone can say, this is formal education, I rather go for informal, and I don't even like informal myself, because I find a family institution is very formal in its own perspective. Now, there are many things that we must look and we must revisit, so that when we talk about who we are, everybody understands the language. I think it's good that you went to schools, but what we are facing right now as the intellectuals in our own rich cultures, spirituality, and our intelligence as God has given it to us. This is the right time, and I'm happy that the producer of this workshop is giving us a lot more insight about how we can deal with Tina endaweni ezokwenza sijabule sibone ukuthi even sificwa ukufa sisebenzile ngoba masikhuluma ngehealing, i-healing vele kuthina uyakhuleka ukhuleke ngesintu sakho njengami nje mina ngisenkolweni yesintu ngokugcwele. Uyakwazi futhi ukuthi usebenzise umuthi makudingeka uma ngabe lesa sifo sidinga umuthi njengebhobo nezinye izinto esoshaya emhlolweni siphiwe kakhulu ukuthi abantu abazi ukuthi baphiwe bahamba ibanga elincane umuntu abese yahindarisheka kanti amathongo ethu agcwele yonke indawo nawo adinga ukuthi siwaphe ngendlela leyo edinga lolo hlobo lokuphiwa. Njengoba ngikhuluma nge-global warming nje ngicabanga ukuthi i-global warming vele iphethwa ey'ntabeni la izulu liphatheke khona la kudingeka khona thina. Mina-ke kade ngaqala angifuni ukuqamba amanga, angikho ekutheni ngiyaqala izinto ngiqale kudala kakhulu abantu bengazinakile. Ngiyabonga ukuthi manje sebeyanaka. Masikhuluma ngalolu laka esinalo kufanele siye ey'ntabeni siyonikela ngenhliziyo zethu, senze lokho futhi hayi ukuthi siphiwe, sibe nezinto noma bekuthiwa unophuthu lwakho uyanalo entabeni ngoba kufuneka lokho kuphuma enhliziyweni yakho okuthandayo, ukhuleke sicela uxolo ukuze kube khona ukuthula. Kakhulukazi kuthina abantu abansundu kugobhoza igazi, imizi ichithekile, there is a lot abantu abethu bathwele izono ongezona zabo kushawa thina ngenxa ukuthi we have shifted to who we are, but now because we are reviving, we are finding ourselves. I think masibambisene kahle sizothola sohlangana ngelinye ilanga bese siyasherisha bese siyazenza lezi zinto, because ukwenza nokukhuluma akufani. Uma singenza si-implement bese siyafunda siyabhala. Leyo nto ingasiza isizwe. Mhlawumbe ungathola ukuthi uma singahlangana kahle iSouth Africa can be healed.
Thank you so much. Yes. I'm sorry, Papa. I'm not interrupting you. I thought you were done. But I love what you're saying about healing South Africa, because I believe everyone who is here, who's part of this group, we kind of share like the same vision, you know, when it comes to that, you know, the same passion, the same goal. We want to heal our people, we want to heal our nation, we want to heal our continent, and if possible, you know, even the whole global community. Global Brother Men's workshop before, you know, Africa, we the people that have this knowledge, we hold like this wisdom and this understanding of how to work with the nature. I mean, of course, there are other cultures like you know, like those that are based in the Amazons, in South America and in Asia somewhere, you know, who have that relationship with nature, who understand, you know, how to heal themselves using indigenous knowledge systems. But Africa also has like a wide store of knowledge that we could share with the world, and also like heal ourselves. So Mina, my thing is, like, for people that have been doing it, how far do you think you have gone in your missions? Now I'm gonna ask you Ebukhosini Solutions to kind of talk about that, just like in a wider scale, Uguti, from like your interventions, because Nani, you've been doing this for a while now. What do you think is the impact that you're having, and is it the kind of impact that you want? And if not, what are the challenges that you are encountering that are preventing you from reaching the impact or the goals that you have?
Greetings to everyone again.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been this is a difficult journey, let's be honest. It's a challenging journey. We started Ebukhosini in 2002, and I had been doing quite a lot of work prior to that as well. I think maybe when you ask about the goals, are we achieving, how do we see the obstacles to the work that we do? I think, you know, you asked about holistic health and well-being and healing. What does that mean? If we read it from what Ntu is supposed to be, this cosmic space of energy, of harmony and oneness, I think what our work is, because our work also changes with time. So our work now and our objectives now cannot be the same they were 500 years ago, for instance. And right now, I think that the goal for our work is to get everybody into the battlefield. We have our methods, we have our tools, and that's what we've been trying to share with communities across the colonial state of South Africa, but also across the continent and the Pan-African world, that we are one people and we need to relearn what that means. So do I feel that it works? Well, you know, this is what I know. I don't know any other vocation. I don't know any other calling. And it goes way slower than I wish. But I also have learned to appreciate the breakthroughs that we see. And I think I want to take this time to also just say the incredible blessings that come through seeing younger healers, younger teachers, younger people who come into their calling. We started the work at a time where a lot of people were talking about this, but a lot of people were sitting on the wayside waiting for someone else to do the work. We still have those people, but now we have many more people at the center, and some of the incredibly great warriors are in this meeting, and I just want to honor you deeply and strongly. You mean a lot to all of us. So yes, things are working, but we need to go faster and more forward. We have so much more we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Babuntu. Yes, it's really an honor to be able to do this work and to know that you, like Ugogo Ngobese, you've been paving this way for us, and I guess in a way it has been. I want to say it has made things a little bit easier for us, because now we're not starting from scratch, and we have all of your knowledge and your wisdom and your guidance, through this journey. So we really also very much appreciate you, and we are learning from you, as it is. Sister Dr. Lina, you've had your hand up for about a minute now. Please take the floor.
Hi.
Hello.
I wanted to say that I concur with the two speakers who were speaking, but the biggest problem that I think we have currently with the up-and-coming young healers is that the fundamentals of healing are not always told properly to them. And it saddens me when I walk around and I see young healers being drunk, young healers doing things that we never did previously. And then number two, Sangoma, it's not a career. And it's a gift that the chosen are entrusted with. And often when I hear that Amangoma are doing certain things that are not part of the code of ethics, it bothers me, because we are supposed to be healing ourselves and healing the nation. But if we are not at that level where we are healing ourselves and rather distracting others, it's a great concern for me. Because what we are given as healers, it's stuff that no textbook can give. We are given trees for you to go and research and understand what the tree does and how it brings healing. For me, is for the young ones to start looking at being innovative with what they are being given. How, if you want a career in healing, then you need to be innovative and take what our Kokonamukulu are giving you and telling you, and packaging it in such a way that does not bring harm to anybody. Yes, there are challenges, because when you do that, you need to follow the standards of labeling those things, of putting those things together. And often it's not easy to even get the African standards. We need to follow the European standards, which can make it very difficult for us. So the difficulty is in that, because we have to go to labs that are white owned in order for us to label our things properly and make sure that whoever picks it up looks at it and say it's authentic. It's always been authentic. It's just that our standards have not been accepted by the world. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you for that. And it is saddening to know that we have all of this knowledge. We know and understand what needs to be done, but we exist in a world with systems that are constantly like repressing that and making it extremely difficult for us to pursue, our spiritual callings, our life and our well-being, and just like our culture as we know it and as we understand it. So I guess you touched on a lot of important points, like alcoholism, which is something that I was hoping that we can talk about a bit, because it's coming up more and more as one of the major challenges that we have in our spiritual communities, you find that a lot of people that are getting into this path, maybe it's either because they don't understand what it is or how to deal, with all these powers that are like emanating from them, and also obviously like just the experience of interacting with the spirits itself can be unsettling if you don't have guidance and you don't know what's happening. So people end up, some of them going down that road of alcoholism, if not worse, like trying to commit suicide and things like that. So how do we deal with that as the community? And I think maybe in talking about that, we can also, I'm always skeptical when I bring this word up, but I think it's important that we also touch on the role that like the dark forces or witchcraft plays in all of this. Because if we're talking about spirits, we know that spirits can be light and they can be dark. If we're talking about herbs and all of that, we know that it can be used for good, but it can also be used to hinder one's progress, or even take their life force, so their energies to be used for other things. And this is something that we really ever talk about openly, because witchcraft is still one of those things that are taboo, and even in our communities there's still a lot of skepticism around its real existence. It's sometimes we approach it from that Western Eurocentric perspective that, oh no, it's just it's in your mind, it's psychological. So I don't know, I really just want to open the floor to everyone to just, what are your thoughts around that? What is happening? With regards to that, what can be done? What can we do when we think we're coming across somebody who's going through something like that? This is a hard one, right? Please, anyone?
Yeah. Can I come in?
Yes, Coco, you may come in, and then Dr. Lina after you.
Okay. Things again. Ngibona ukuthi inkinga esibhekene nayo ogobela. Ba-trainers. Ogobela abakhona abanye abayifake. Akubona ogobela bangempela ngoba badinga imali. Ukuyiqinisa kade kusho dadewethu. Akuve kuyihlazo ukuletha amahloni ukubona isangoma sesidakiwe, ingane ezincane ezitrainayo, ngoba ezinye bezingafanele zitrain, bekufanele zenziwe indini nendawo. Emveni kwalokho into zabo zilunge. Oqhubekayo ithongo lakhe liyakhuluma kuyena ukuthi hamba ke manje, hamba oqedela kusorenso, liyazikhulumela ithongo. Manje laba bathi mabebekela izingane ngoba bafake, babeke zonke inkambi ezingadingekile kulomuntu, and akafundisekile kwayena ukuthi ubungoma busho ukuthini. Ubeqinisile okhulumile la wathi umngoma is a calling vele, akuwona umsebenzi. Kodwa namhlanje abantu bakha ileyo nkinga esibhekene nayo, ngoba asinayo iplatform yokugeza lezi zinto. Sithola ogobela bonke ixoxwe nje, kuhlalwe phansi ixoxe ukuthi ikuphi nakuphi okwehlisa izinga lokuba ugobela noma lokuba isangoma emhlabeni osithembile, ngoba usithembile umhlaba. Kodwa laba basophozayo vele basizakala bathi ngisangoma lesi iqhwasa leli, bese kulimala amathongo aclean ngempela, ngoba khona amathongo aclean afuna izinto eziqondile. Mina ngibona inkinga ikogobela, ngoba sengike ngabona kakhulu uthwala obuba khona makuthiwa kuphothula umuntu. Akudingeki utshwala ngibusebenzise, amakesobhiya, amabhodlela amakhulu. Amathongo ethu ayengaphuza utshwala kangaka, ayengaphuza njalo utshwala besinto obudingekayo. So sekunama-extras. Engicabanga ukuthi i-capitalism ifika nezinto ezidunga uchopho babantu, kodwa ngeke ngithi mina umuntu azikhanselisha, kakhulukazi thina siphiwe sonke. Iphutha uyalibona elenzekayo, ugwema. Uma usulenzile futhi phindele emuva phela uyaqosha ubuntu bakho. Ngibona kunjalo mina mphathi wohlelo.
Thank you, Gogo. Dr. Lina, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I put my hand down because I feel Gogo has actually taken the words out of my mouth. She was spot on because when you okay, sometimes it's but lately you find very young kids. I can make an example about me. It was lapho mangina 12 kodwa ngaqhelelwa ukuthi ngibe yingane ngibe yingane edlalayo ebayingane. I was not forced ukuthi I must be coerced and ngithwala amabhayi esikolweni. They don't understand that lelo bhayi, it has a meaning, it has a culture that brings energy that can be so strong for those who are not called. And that is why you find people saying there's demons. There are no demons. It's just that we're bringing energies that are too strong for other people in the spaces. So Gogo has actually took the words out of my mouth.
All right, I hear you. I just want to be clear that what you're saying is that there are no dark forces. It's just the energies are not right for that time. Is that what you're saying?
Often when people see Izangoma, they will always say that these are demons.
Oh, okay, you're referring to Izangoma. Yeah.
No, we are not demonic people. If we were demons, then it's been a spell. Everybody on a spell, it means unefros.
Yes. Okay.
There's a root where you come from. There's a lineage. So to call us demons is not making sense.
Yes. Okay. No. Okay. That's clear enough. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to contribute to that conversation. Dr. Mitole, you've just joined us. Do you have anything else to say to that?
Thank you, Sis. Thank you, Sis Dewa, for hosting us today. My comment on the issue today is basically I'll dwell on Izangoma and the state of the nation, where we find ourselves as a nation, as people of color, melanated people. We really haven't benefited that much as a people from the powers that we have. Looking at the state of the nation today, we are in a very, very powerless position compared to where our ancestors were some 300-400 years ago. So I think that we need also to zero in on the weaknesses and our shortcomings. Where did we go wrong? Why are our Izangoma, our Gogo, why are they unable to defend us against our enemies? What happened? What really happened to us as a people? How did we lose this power? We are able to use these powers against ourselves. We are able to use these powers to harm each other in the family. We are able to use these powers to harm our sisters, to harm our brothers who have progressed very well. But when it comes to protecting ourselves against the enemy, the real enemy was black, we, the white men who came to rob, kill, steal, and murder us. We are powerless. What happened to us as a people? Why are we powerless against our enemies? Yet we can harness, we are able to harness this power and destroy ourselves, destroy our little siblings. I just wanted to bring in the issue of materialism. Materialism is what has been another factor that has really affected us in terms of utilizing or harnessing our power to benefit as people. Materialism has conquered as a people. So every time we look at our Izangoma as people who can make us free, okay, people who can help us progress or succeed or become better than our neighbor. So in that sense, I think there is an issue of competition. So we are competing against each other. Where there is competition, there's competition for resources, scarce resources, there's competition for life, there's competition for our ancestors, there's competition for God, there's competition for the natural resources that we have. So the issue of materialism also has to be factored in. We need to see whether materialism, in the sense that we are looking at it from the Western-centric, Eurocentric angle, can really benefit us, can liberate us from the challenges that we are facing as we are competing, we want to be better than the neighbor. In that sense, there is the issue of jealousy. There is the issue of jealousy that exists. There's the issue of envy.
Okay, I just wanted to go back to the whole thing of Izangoma. Isangoma, who has been initiated, who in the Sangoma term we say walphuza walphalas, you can never ever harm anyone. So kunezangoma, kunezinyanga, kunamagedla. Isangoma is not supposed to cause anybody to have an accident. Isangoma can never be jealous because you are a healer. You have gone through initiation and healing of the self so that you can heal others. And continuously you have to heal yourself and heal your family and your ancestors. So you can never, as an initiated Sangha, bring harm to the community. There are other people who pose as Sangomas whom we need to find, because now there's a blanket that's been put over us. One of the reasons I had to go and study Ayurvedic medicine is because I did not want to be associated with Sango because of what everybody else says. But when I got to school, I realized, you know what? I'm in Asia, I'm studying, but my ancestors are giving me more than what the textbook is giving me. So, as Isangoma, there are people who will come to me with nothing. And I need to heal them because that is my calling. Those who are charging exorbitant amounts to do things, I think we need to get that clear. Isangoma does not harm. They cannot harm against the code of ethics as a Sangoma.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we really need to put that out there, you know. There are a lot of things that are being said here that I feel like just like the general community, you know, the public needs to know about. Again, I guess it goes back to that whole thing of like indigenous healing being done in secrecy. So that's the reason why these people can get away with all these things that they're doing, because there isn't enough information out there, or just let's say standard information out there for people to know, wait, Sangoma, it needs to be like this and this and this. These are the characteristics of a good Sangoma. And if somebody demands this or requires this from me, then it's possible they're not really in it for the healing, but for something else. So, yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Lena. Assistant Togozo?
I just wanted to say, Wuti, I feel like if we all together strengthen the efforts to raise Ulum Kubulwane, a lot of our problems will be solved, because the spirit of healing has been destroyed because the mother goddess who owns that spirit has been destroyed. The spirit of love has also been destroyed because the mother goddess who has that spirit, who owns that spirit, has also been destroyed. So if we all together try and raise the spirit in Mkulane, our efforts towards healing our land will also be elevated.
Thank you so much.
That's what I think.